Hello, my name is Jesse from the Alabama area. I guess a spiritual awakening can even happen in Alabama. Lived a normal life, watching football, baseball, not a whole lot of basketball, but I recently just got into watching soccer. It started about 6 years ago, and I'll go into this further on in the future. It's something to do with blood pressure. I'm drinking hibiscus tea now. I got the blood pressure of a 19-year-old. Everything the doctor ever prescribed me was the only thing it did for me. It didn't lower my blood pressure. It just made me piss a gallon at 1 o'clock every day. Didn't lower any pressure at all. Anyways, after a while, I was feeling loopy, sick, and run down all over. I turned to God. I never was absent from Him, but I wasn't the type that just hang out at church. I knew He was there, felt Him all my life. There's several instances where I could tell He helped me in different walks of my life. And I'll get into that later on too. But this particular time, I felt like hell. I delivered a product to stores, made a fair living, but I kept trying to do it even after the blood pressure problem. No, I'm not going bald. I just got out of the shower. I'm riding down the road to my next stop, what I called them. It was a store where I delivered the cake to, snack food. And I mean, I'll use the words I use to God. Keep in mind, I felt terrible. I said, God, who the hell side you on anyway? And as soon as I made a right turn, it was a little town in Alabama, and there was an old sign, a nationwide sign that said, I am. It was double underlined on your side. Okay, all the nationwide sign had been tore down. But at the top, they tore it down from the bottom up. Usually you go top down. In every instance I would know, or would even think possible. But it was double underlined. Nothing else on the sign left, but I am, and it was double underlined on your side. The on your side part wasn't double underlined. But he answered me lickety split on the spot. I had to pull over and gather my thoughts. And I'm on the other side of the delivery vehicle, away from the traffic. And I'm hooping and hollering saying, you heard me, and you answered me. A cop pulled over, wondered what was going on, and I told him, and he started praising the Lord. Okay. That being said and out of the way, that's when it all started. I started faithfully going to church, reading the Bible every minute of the day, 3 minutes anyway. And I dived into it, searched every bit of text I could find. I would notice different parts of the Bible, the King James Version, had parts missing that were in there at the beginning. I think King James might have had them pulled out. I know he pulled out the book of Enoch, but there was a verse in John, I think it was, where Jesus says, you ask anything in my name, and you'll have it. I would think to myself, all my life I've heard people pray, and I think every one of them died. And I looked at God and I said, what good is that, God? You tell it. They're your words. Are your words void, God? Then I found out they wasn't. The next two verses should be behind that. I can't think of it off the top of my head on the John whatever number and whatever number after comes out of that. But Google it. That little phrase, ask anything in my name. It'll tell you. But the next two verses were missing. Were pulled out. I think 5, 6, how many hundred years ago it was. I don't know how long it was. Excuse me. But they were thought and emotion. Mary thought and emotion. He's telling Thomas this. It's the book of Thomas. Mary thought and emotion and be enveloped in your answer. Well, that tells me you do a lot of thinking. Thought in your head, emotion comes from your heart. I guess when the twain meet, they may give power to your faith or turn your faith loose a little stronger. And then I started asking questions. Let me borrow some of your faith, God. And through years of praying, I realized I got all the faith I need. So do you. Because our faith came from God. When he breathed life into us, he inhaled. That's how close we are to him. He's not sitting on a throne 20 billion miles away in a third heaven on the other side of Jupiter. He's right there within you. He made us to dwell among us. And I think, I've been told, the Greek is within. And I will get into that further also later on. And through more research, the feeling inside my heart was we were God. Then I started hearing we were. And I prayed more and more and more. I don't know when it was in '96. I had another health scare. And I actually lied to my wife. I was supposed to go back to the doctor and they were going to check a knot I had. So that was a Tuesday. I went to the doctor. It's important to get the time frame here. Okay. Tuesday night, deep inside of me, I was kind of like worried. All right. So I told her, and I said, well, I was in the waiting room. I read a magazine. I'm going to try it out. But I'd heard in my head about 30 minutes before I got ready to go to bed, here's what do. Those words. And I thought, I knew they were from God. So I just said, God, why are you speaking so bad a grammar? Here's what do. Whenever that phrase would come to me, I knew, watch out. Something's fixing to happen. Okay. I envisioned a light on that spot. And I fell asleep, drifted off to sleep in the vision. Okay. About 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, I got up and had to get in the shower because part of my body was burning off of me. It wasn't a mark, wasn't nothing like that. The colder the water, the better. And then I got the feeling some relief, so I went back to bed and fell straight way to sleep. Okay. From that moment, and I don't know where the thought or the worries went, I didn't think about it again. I knew I had another appointment the next Monday. But that Friday night, I came home from work, or Friday afternoon, jumped in the shower, and I screamed at my wife, it's gone, it's gone. She came in there and looked, it was gone. Went that next Monday, and that doctor had a specialist there for my appointment. And I told him it was gone. He kind of grinned at me. And he looked up the other doctor and said, it's gone. I'm not lying. I think the deal is When you turn your faith loose, if you can forget about it, that faith will keep mushrooming out there in the spiritual realm and perform whatever task you send it to do. We weren't made a little less than the angels. We were made to be imitators of God. Excuse me. You have more power than you think you do. You are God's. You are God's. You are God's. Whatever you're facing, money problem, job problem, live in the end. Live as if it already happened. Live as if your desires were there. I feel like I've been given a lot of spiritual knowledge. And what I want to do by doing this is tell it. You can choose not to believe me. I would like to later get together and with somebody and let's believe for something. You can test this, but the biggest struggle is to forget it and not remember it. Like if a doctor performs surgery, if he goes back every hour or so to see how it's healing, that patient's going to die. And so will you. Don't keep concerning yourself with what's going on around you. When Jesus met the woman at the well, I'm talking about the five husbands. That's the five senses. It's that spiritual sense, that sixth sense. Everything about you knows what actually is going on. You were made that way. You're wired for this. You are a supernatural being. We were sent down here to earth and when the water broke, we were baptized. And then we were put on this earth. He would not have you any of you be lost. You need to don't look at this what's going on. Don't look at what you see. Just walk by the word of God. What he said. And don't continue to say, well, you said this, God. You said this. You said that. You said this. Because that's a little doubt in there. You're not believing it. You're having to prove it to somebody else, even to God, in your makeup. But we were sent here without the knowledge of what we were. And once you can believe this, even the world will straighten up. Poverty, death, lack. You say, well, death? We're supposed to die. Well, that's because you believe it. And everyone else on earth does too. You believe the sun comes up. Nah, we revolve. Or it rotates. The earth does. The sun ain't coming up. But you believe it. I'm not going to get into the flat earth deal. I'm just telling you that what you have always been trained, and the senses have picked up your eyes, your ears, your nose. That's what you believe. But everything is spiritual. Your mind, your thought process, your spirit has the ability to change matter. And later on, I'll get into vibrations. But tonight, I'll quit there. I'm not the best speaker, but I'm telling you the truth. I'm Jesse with jessesawake.blogspot.com. I would like for you to go to the website. You don't have to buy anything. I just want you to go. I would like to have a pen pal relationship with as many people as I can. I don't have all the answers. I'm hoping some of you will. Yes, after Adam and Eve ate the apple or whatever it was they ate, the ground would turn hard, and they would have to work by the sweat of their brow. But Jesus came back. Jesus was the first Adam, and he's the second Adam. If his blood didn't pay for something, it paid for everything. We've just got to believe it. The garden didn't go anywhere. We're still in it. By God saying it's already done, we're sitting slap dab in the middle of the garden. That sin is a veil that dropped over our eyes. Jesus lifted that veil. We don't have to look at the circumstances. We're in the garden. I thank you very much. And I hope the volume was turned on. God bless and good night.